What's up, gang? It's Chris Angel coming in for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. And today we're going to talk about the recession. There is a recession coming. I don't think you could possibly have a $1 trillion stimulus package, drop rates like rates have been dropped, and quarantine everybody with massive unemployment and not have a recession. So we can all agree that a recession is around the corner. There's always a lag. There's always a lag period between when big decisions are made and then when the economic repercussions show up, right? So right now we've made some big decisions to quarantine people. We've made some decisions to send stimulus, all that stuff. Those decisions have been made. And pretty soon, I would say within a couple months, we're going to start to experience that financially, if you haven't already. And what happens in times of fear, we'll say, is that people start to do the opposite of what actually would serve them. So let's make this specific to business for a minute, since that's you and me. Actually, let me start with the stock market because that's an easier one, and then we'll bring it back to business. So, you know the saying, right? Like buy low, sell high. Like in stocks, if you're going to invest, you want to buy stocks low and you want to sell stocks high. But for most people, the average American, that's actually not how it works. What happens is people panic when the market starts to fall and they sell and they start liquidating, right? And they don't start investing. Like they're nervous about the falling of the market, and so they actually don't invest. This is why financial calibrations, let's call it like this, result in a unequal distribution of wealth, because the wealthy understand it and they have some safety and some cushion and some hedge around them, so they can actually take money and invest in stocks that are on sale. And then when the market rebounds and the prices go back up, right, so does their wealth. You can start to see that is a mindset that the wealthy understand that, and so they start to look for this is a good opportunity. Stocks are on sale right now, so we're gonna invest in stocks while they're low, knowing we'll get a return. Okay, so let's go bring this to business now. What happens in business is people, when the economy starts to drop and money is tight, people actually get scared, and in their fear, they actually withdraw. They get in their head about, oh crap, what am I going to do? And they start chasing shiny things, any sort of fix that will make this go away, or they just bury their head in the sand because they're afraid. They're just afraid. And I get it. Totally get it. But when a recession comes, the answer is not to withdraw. The answer is to double down. Do you hear that? It is time now. If you do it now, start now. Don't wait for the recession to be here. Start now and double down on your marketing. Why? Because everybody else is going to be in fear. Everybody else is going to be withdrawing, which leaves the door wide open for you to serve and help more people. By the way, in this tribe of healers, coaches, etc., when has there been a better time for you to double down? When your potential audience is in fear itself. When your audience is worried about a recession and their livelihood and what's next for them, and they're contemplating, because they don't have a job, what kind of a job should I get? What am I qualified for? What certifications do I need? What makes me valid in this world? What better time for you to double down than now? So that being said, here's what I want to explore with you for a second. What could be happening for you around the conversation of marketing is that you don't feel authentic or aligned with marketing in general. You just don't like marketing. Ultimately, this is who I help, right? This is who I serve. Every person that comes through my programs has such a huge heart for humanity, a huge heart to serve people, to help people cross over from where they're stuck to where they want to go. Coaches, healers, etc., right? But your relationship to marketing isn't healthy. It's not aligned. you haven't found a way to make marketing fit you yet. And so what happens when the recession comes is you don't know how to double down on marketing. So you withdraw even harder. You're like, or you might in your valiant effort try some things, and when it doesn't work, that's even scarier because now you're trying things in a state of recession and there's more at stake. There's more to risk. So let me leave you with this. Your ability to market, your ability to double down in marketing. First, listen to me, first starts with your message. Message comes before method. You have to know what it is you want to say to the world, and you have to be fluent at saying it before you could ever play around with advertising or podcasting or any of that. Because look, if you don't know what the message is, you won't sustain the effort with the method. You could you might, in your panic and fear of a recession, go buy a bunch of methods, which financially puts you at risk if you don't sustain the effort. Because any method you take on requires effort. There is no overnight success story. So the lifeblood of your marketing is your message. It is the thing that keeps going all the way through the recession. And what you want to start to get good at in your messaging is being very connected to the problems and the pains of your people. And in a recession, those problems and those pains might shift a little bit, right? Or they might get exaggerated. And so it is important that as we move into this recession, your marketing gets even tighter on what your people are wrestling with. And you need to get good at speaking about that. My experience has just been that most people aren't good about speaking to the problems and the pains of their people. You're too polite. You're too concerned of offending. You speak too generically or generally in overarching universals, and you're not getting specific enough in the particulars of where people are really stuck. And because of that, they can't hear you. They're too much in their head already. You have to get really good at speaking to the problems and the pains of your people. When you do that, you can actually reach people. People actually need you, and they need you even more coming into this recession. So you need to start to get good at honing your message and being fluent in your message. There are lots of methods, but only you have your message. Do you hear me? There are lots of methods, but only you have your message. So let me invite you to my 6-week program where we go to work on your message. Now, it's called the Groundswell Method. Isn't that convenient, right? There's a method to it. But the very first week in that program, we go to work on your message. And for the full 6 weeks of that program, you are iterating and working on and getting fluent with your message. And then we partner that with a method, because you need a method. But it's message first and then method, right? Message first, then method. So now is the time, gang, now is the time for you to double down on your marketing. Do not withdraw. Do not hide your head in the sand. I recommend you go through my 6-week program. This will be the 6th iteration, the 6th time through, the 6th cohort through this program. And it starts April 23rd 27th at the time of this recording. Monday, April 27th at the time of this recording. There's still time to get your application in. Go to groundswellmethod.com. The link is in the text of this post. Groundswellmethod.com. Fill out the application and it comes to me. You have a lot at stake here heading into a recession. It is time for you to double down on marketing, not withdraw from it. So that's it for today, gang. Thanks for hanging out with me in this episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. Until tomorrow when we go live again or when we post again, here's to you getting tuned into your message.